This is the Toyota RAV4, which has been crowned as the world's best-selling SUV for 2019. Unfortunately, the RAV4's presence in the Philippine market is much more minuscule, no thanks to the fact that we're a market that's more obsessed with more utilitarian 7-seater pickup-based passenger vehicles such as the Toyota Fortuner. The Toyota Fortuner's presence has made the Toyota RAV4 more of a low-volume and novelty offering. This is highlighted by the fact that the Honda CR-V, Subaru Forester, and Mazda CX-5 are selling in much higher numbers. Kaya mabuti na lang sa kanyang forma pa lang, medyo kakaiba na ang itsura niya. Toyota has opted for a more boxy and rugged look with this generation of the Toyota RAV4, truly setting it apart from its more curvaceous rivals. Moving inside, and you'll appreciate the RAV4's varying textures and surfaces. The dashboard and upper door trims are covered in soft touch materials, plus most of the rotary knobs have a chunky and rubberized feel. It's still not as luxurious and as premium as the Mazda CX-5's interior, but the RAV4 scores high marks in practicality and space. This top-of-the-line LTD variant has a decent amount of amenities, pero yun nga lang, medyo may kulang-kulang pa rin. Meron kang panoramic sunroof, power adjustable driver seat with 2-person memory, wireless charging na medyo madaling mawala sa connection pag pumalog lang ng onte, pero for more than 2.2 million pesos, bakit manual folding pa rin yung mirrors nito? At least meron kang heated seats, which is about as useful as wearing a trench coat while you're in Palawan. Mixed priorities aside, the RAV4's backseats are very comfy and spacious. Plus, you also get rear aircon vents. Trunk space for the Toyota RAV4 is also spacious. Pero yun nga lang, wala kang power liftgate for 2.2 million pesos. The situation is just as gloomy when you go to the infotainment system. It's not the Toyota OEM infotainment system you get in overseas models. Instead, you are left with this clunky user interface with no Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in sight. The situation significantly improves when you go under the hood of this car. The Toyota RAV4 is powered by the all-new Dynamic Force 2.5-liter inline-4 petrol engine, which produces these powerful numbers. This Toyota RAV4 is now one of the most powerful in its class. Power is then sent to the front wheels via a new direct shift 8-speed automatic transmission. And bago pa kayo magtanong, walang 4-wheel drive model ngayon ng Toyota RAV4. Dahil sabi ng Toyota Motor Philippines, the vast majority of RAV4 buyers only opted for the 2-wheel drive model. So with this new 2.5-liter Dynamic Force petrol engine in mind, how does a Toyota RAV4 perform? Well, with this new engine, believe it or not, the RAV4 is actually one of the most powerful in its segment right now. Its engine produces a lot of horsepower, 203 in fact, which is pretty good for a non-turbo 2.5-liter engine. And torque is also delivered in a linear fashion in which you don't really need to rev the engine out that much in order to make this car move. And then the 8-speed automatic that this car is mated to is actually also pretty good, at least for the most part. If you want to accelerate, like for example, you want to overtake, the transmission really downshifts eagerly, as in it will really downshift instantly and at the correct gear. And that also means that if you're in the expressway with those 8 gears, you can cruise at a low RPM, which means that it is able to produce good fuel economy numbers. And it actually does. For the whole week that this car is with me, my entire average for that whole week was 11.2 kilometers per liter, which is pretty good for a 2.5-liter non-turbo petrol engine. This is not a diesel, by the way, with those economy numbers. Now, getting back to that 8-speed automatic transmission, I said mostly, it's mostly good because if you're in the city, for example, gumagapang ka sa parking lot or sa intersection ka at gusto mong umarangkada, there are times na when you step on the gas, the transmission will also downshift simultaneously when you step on the gas, so you end up lurching. Basically that. So there's a bit of lurching with the transmission if you're in the city and you're crawling at a snail's pace in traffic or at a stoplight or in a parking lot, which can be quite annoying. So isipin mo na lang, may pasahero ka na may iniinom na drink, tapos pag downshift yung transmission habang umapa ka sa gas, mapapagalan ka, mapapasubsub ka ng onte, which is not good. Apart from that, the 8-speed automatic transmission works really well. It downshifts in the correct gear if you want to overtake, and it's able to produce good fuel economy numbers along with this new 2.5-liter dynamic force petrol engine. Now, as for the rest of the driving experience, the all-new RAV4 isn't exactly what you would call sporty. I guess it's more of what you would say confidence-inspiring, though it has a more consistent feel than the previous generation model steering wheel. But overall, it still doesn't react as fast and as eagerly as what you would expect in a Mazda CX-5 steering wheel. It also isn't as composed as a Mazda CX-5 when going through corners, since this car has more body roll. Though on the upside, medyo maganda yung soft suspension niya pagdating sa big bumps, though it does tend to fidget about pagdating sa mga smaller, tinier bumps. And then, there's a bit of road noise and what I would like, especially with this new TNGA platform. You expect it to be really quiet, really refined, though for the most part it really is, but compared to the competition, the RAV4 has a bit more road and wind noise than what I would like, and of course than what most of the competition nowadays offers. Pricing for the Toyota RAV4 starts at a little over 1.7 million pesos, which gets the base LE variant. For that price, you get LED head and tail lights, 17-inch alloy wheels, electronic parking brake, 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system, manual aircon, fabric interior, 7 airbags, and electronic stability control. Stepping up to the XLE variant adds leather steering wheel, passive entry with push-button start, dual-zone climate control, front and rear parking sensors, reverse camera, and an auto-dimming rearview mirror. Lastly, this range-topping LTD variant adds a panoramic sunroof, 18-inch alloy wheels, leather seats, cruise control, power-adjustable driver seated 2-person memory, 7-inch digital gauge cluster, wireless phone charging, and seat heaters. Unfortunately, the all-new RAV4 doesn't come with any advanced driver assist features such as blind spot warning, rear cross traffic alert, adaptive cruise control, automatic emergency braking, which is available at least on the higher trims of most of its competitors. There's no doubt that the Toyota RAV4 is pretty expensive, especially when you consider some of the features that the car lacks. Admittedly, Toyota Motor Philippines has never made the RAV4 their volume seller, and that will always be the case for as long as the Toyota Fortuner exists. But for those who appreciate the RAV4's powerful engine, along with its quirky design and list of features, this is the best Toyota RAV4 yet that Filipino consumers will get to experience.